a very warm welcome to you all to the one-on-one set. In the studio tonight, we have with us a young and talented pianist, Rahul Suntah, who at the age of 27 has been capturing audiences with his music, not just in Mauritius but around the world. Tonight, during this episode of One-on-One, Rahul will share with us more about his passion for piano. Rahul, thank you so much for joining us in the studio of the NBC.
Thank you for having me, first of all. Yeah.
Rahul, so you are a music composer and your journey with the piano has been quite remarkable. Can you share us a bit about your early life? How did you develop this passion for music, first of all, and then the instrument piano?
Sure. So it all started when I joined the Frédéric Chopin Conservatory of Music in Cameroon. Well, first of all, it was my mother who told me you should do music, you should at least learn the music. So in the conservatory, they do a year of éveil musical, which is an introduction to music, first of all, about rhythm, which is one of the foundations of music. And then you get to choose your instrument. And I saw the teachers playing one day, which later taught me how to play, and I was fascinated by this instrument. And that's when I thought that I wanted to choose the piano. Yeah.
And you actually also studied music technology in England, right?
Yes.
So at what point did you decide that you want to make this your career?
Around the age of 16, I was classically trained at the piano at the conservatory, but I reached a point where I was no longer enjoying it, unfortunately, because it was a strict classical training and but I just I was no longer enjoying it because it was too classical and it was not me. I just realized at one point that this is not, it felt forced, so I was like, I don't want to continue. And then I had to stop a little bit because of that, and then obviously because of HSC is a big thing in Mauritius, so I had to focus on that. It's after that I decided I got really interested in the world of music technology, and sound engineering, sound design, music for films, and that's when I discovered that I want to go in that path and that direction. I didn't even know back then if I wanted to be a performer, but I just wanted to go explore that universe. And so I did my studies in music technology and in Bristol.
So how was your experiences in England that shaped your approach to play and to compose music?
So first of all, the music technology itself was a breakthrough for me. It was something totally new compared to classical music, And so I discovered live looping when I was in university. So looping technology is something that's really important in the music of today. You hear it in old modern songs, pop songs. It revolves around looping. And so I just reached a point where I was, learning more about these technologies. And then at one point I decided, well, I could be my own band with this technology, my own show, and my own being like an independent musician. That's when I decided to, blend, the classical world and the popular music world.
Okay.
Because I thought they go well together. There's always a separation between the two, but I thought this is ridiculous. We can merge both of them. And you can be your own band. You're over the launchpad, and this allowed me to be my own band because I could make different sounds with the piano, which is something a bit different that I explored as well. So I make different sounds that imitate other instruments in addition to the piano sound, which allows me to be my own band and to play, to be my own, yeah.
Nice. And now you're actually going to have your first concert in Mauritius, right?
Yes.
It's in September. It's called Piano Odyssey. Talk to us about that concert, which will be your first in your homeland.
Yes. So first of all, I'm extremely honored to be able to do that performance, to have my own show in my home country. It's all thanks to Opera Mauritius who helped me in organizing the show. So yeah, it will be a concert of all my my very popular songs that got me discovered as an artist. Covers of 80s hits, film music that I really love, and my original compositions as well. And even more, I recently released a Bollywood cover as well, and there will be Sega as well. So I'm just merging everything into one. It's a concert for all ages, really. So even the elderly people and
For
the younger.
everyone.
Yeah, it's for everyone, for all.
How did you really go about selecting those pieces then?
Well, for the Sega and the Bollywood was thought of because of Mauritius, because of the show was being done in Mauritius. But it's generally just a selection of the covers that I was already doing in the UK, in England. So it's my most famous compositions and covers that.
And how's your preparation going for this concert? And how does your preparation for a concert differ from a normal routine?
Yes. So for this concert, especially for solo shows, it's definitely more tedious and challenging for sure, because it's my own show. So and my setup is quite complicated, because I use like all these technologies, launchpad, live looping, and extended techniques on the piano, and it's very tiring. So preparing all the there's gonna be a lot of songs, about 20 pieces that I'm gonna be playing. So I'm having to like make sure everything works on the tech side and on the performance side. So I recently did a rehearsal at the Color Arts Center. Everything went fine so far. So, but yeah, very very tedious for sure. Please do come, because it's for everyone. There's probably gonna be music that you enjoy. It's a musical ride through different eras of music, and it's just the piano is the main instrument. So if I can show you that the piano is a very incredible instrument, I would be satisfied.
Definitely
Yeah.
great. Rahul, you actually blend two elements, acoustic and electronic, in your style, right?
Yeah.
So can you tell us about your process of integrating these two worlds?
So that comes again back in university. So I was looking for ways to create a video and a performance that would attract people. I could be my own, own band, a one-man band show, and that's when I discovered looping technology in the Launchpad. So I thought to myself, well, if I could make, other instruments by myself, I could just do it with the piano.
Oh.
So extended techniques for the piano is something that I also learned in university on the side by myself. I ended up doing a project on it eventually. So the piano, a lot of people don't know, is a very incredible instrument. It's not only about the keys. You can get more out of it inside the strings. You can make it sound like a violin. You can make it sound like a guitar, like a drum. So I thought, well, I could loop these sounds and get my own band in the background, and I could play along with it. And so that's how it came along. And then I did this video of the first time I did this performance style was Eye of the Tiger by Survivor, which is a song everyone knows. And I did it in this style, and it attracted a lot of attention on my Instagram primarily. And this is when I realized that this style was attracting a lot of people. People were enjoying it, and since then I never stopped. I just kept going, trying to find more songs, more creative ways to, get different sounds of the piano, different ways of combining the looping and the piano, classical piano.
So what's your creative process really to create a piece of music? What's your routine?
You mean for covers or originals? Anything,
yeah.
or both of them. I would just say for both of them. So for covers, normally it has to be a song that I really enjoy. It has to be a song that catches my attention straight away. Unfortunately, not all songs do that. So it has to be a really good song that really catches my attention. And I always I tried on the piano keys first. I try to find the chords, the harmony, the melody, see how it works, and then I dig deeper inside, try to find ways of creating the different instruments that are in this music, and then I go to the studio a rehearsal studio. Or in Mauritius, it's just my home. I have a piano at home, so then I experiment, try to do different sounds with it, try to loop those sounds with a launchpad, and until I get. For me, the most important thing is the spark.
Yeah.
If like when you're arranging a piece of music, whether it's original or a cover, if you feel a spark at some point, it means it's really good, and it means you're in the right direction. It has to feel like magic, so that's how it works. So both for covers and originals, it works the same way. For originals, maybe it has to be more about inspiration, wanting to be more authentic. So I just released 2 originals right now, and it's about being authentic about my personal experiences. This is what inspires me to create a melody on the piano and just start from there and keep going. Yeah.
So Rahul, you've been in England for around 6 years and now you're back to Mauritius. How does it feel? Are you ready to explore the Mauritian music here?
Definitely. I'm planning to stay here for a while to see how it is. But so far it's looking incredible and it's very, for sure, it's very different.
It's
Not
different
not
indeed.
too different, but it's a bit different here, but in a good way, I would say. So I'm very excited to see where this goes here, and
Yeah.
if I can do more shows here. And
Indeed.
yeah.
And actually, you're so young and you've gained a significant following on social media, on Instagram, and have been featured by BBC, ITV, and other platforms. So, how have these impacted your career? How do you feel about this recognition?
Obviously, I would say that these experiences have definitely positively impacted my career. Because they are very big, major platforms. BBC, ITV News. It's huge. Sometimes I feel like, obviously, I feel like it was a bit by luck. I'm not trying to discredit myself, but I'm trying to accept that they just liked my stuff, and that's why they wanted to feature my music in their platforms. But it definitely hugely positively impacted my
On
path.
motivation, yeah.
It got me really motivated to keep going, first of all, and it just attracted a lot of attention, not just in terms of media, but people wanted to do shows with me. And obviously with that, I also, like, before that happened, I was basically independent artist, and after that, so I got a manager who's helping me a lot. So far so good. So I would say, yeah, it definitely it changed the trajectory in the right direction, and everything has been going up ever since. And
Great.
yeah, it's
That's
been incredible.
nice.
Yeah.
You have also, in fact, launched an album, Piano Stories, right?
Yes.
Talk to us about that.
Yes. Piano
How
Stories.
did the idea come up?
So Piano Stories I made it during COVID.
During COVID.
So it
COVID has been a
was
great source of inspiration for artists.
yes, because obviously during COVID we were all forced to stay at home. That's when I realized that, well, I've been doing covers, but people have never heard my originals. But I would say I was just motivated to share my originals, all the kind of experiments that I did with music, with the piano, and just merge them. It's just a very small album of 5 pieces, and it was just a compilation of the different originals that I had composed back in university, at home. Even some pieces in it were very long. I composed since I was a kid, but I realized, oh, this has potential, so I could. So I just wanted to do it. I just wanted to show my original, authentic side. Yeah.
Indeed, yes.
Yeah.
And so your piece Paradise Island was selected among the best tracks of 2021 by the BBC Music. So talk to us about that recognition. How did it influence your work and opportunities?
Well, first of all, it was very gratifying and I was very proud of this track. First of all, it's because it's I think out of the album Piano Stories, Paradise Island is the most authentic one, because it came from me. I composed it back in when I was in university, and it was me missing my home country, which is why I named it Paradise Island and all the good things about it. And I just composed a melody, and I just wanted to pay tribute to my home country. And I realized that that's maybe the reason why they thought it was very good. It came from deep within, within the soul. So I think that that's why they really enjoyed it that much. And yeah, they listed it as the one of the best tracks of 2021, and it was a shock to me, honestly. I was not expecting that. It happened on New Year's Day. I remember New Year's Day 2022, and
Okay.
they sent me an email
Yeah.
telling me that I would be on the show. I didn't they didn't even know why I was gonna be on the show, and then they announced it, and it was incredible.
It was great then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it felt great. But like just like being featured on like my music being featured on these platforms, it was just an extra thing. Like my track was one of the best tracks of the 2021. It just like always, it positively impacted my career in a very good way, and people were just interested more, in getting projects done with me. And yeah.
And Rahul, you've been in this field for a few years now. What would you say are the highlights of your career?
Oh, okay. um I think the my performance in Amsterdam, because so I did a few shows in the UK, and then I had a one in Amsterdam. But this one was very memorable because I was also invited to do an advert for them, which was something completely different, and it was a very enlightening experience because it was the first time I was doing something like that, being starring in an advert as a getting to explore the being an actor world, which is really really hard as well. So that was a very memorable in that way, and also it was by a by a very recognized recruitment agency. So it was the show that I performed for them was very professionally organized, and it was just incredible. So for me, that was the biggest highlight so far, and also having them invite me from the UK, flying me there, and it was a yeah, pretty interesting experience. Yeah.
But I'm sure your journey hasn't been all rosy. So, what were the challenges that you faced, and how did you overcome those obstacles?
Um. So one of the first major obstacles was during COVID, when I think that was the first time I struggled a lot because everything became so
Yeah.
uncertain. I had actually because I had just finished my studies from the UK. Um, Back then they didn't have their visa was very limited, so I had to go back to Mauritius, and I had the wrong the most the the how do I say at the worst time, sorry, at the worst time COVID happened, and I thought that it was killing my plans. Honestly, I thought I was gonna be stuck, like not being able to achieve my goals and projects in the music scene. So that was the first time I struggled, and and also last year as well. Like I say, it was a fun experience being in the UK and doing all these performances, but at one point it kind of stopped because I realized that London is not such a great place for me for an emerging artist, unfortunately. So I discovered the hard way that there's a lot of competition. It's immensely overpopulated, so it became very difficult for me and my manager. Even when my manager was helping me, it was difficult to get shows done. So it was a pretty dark time,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So I think it was better for me to come back to Mauritius and explore here a bit and take a break. Yeah.
Yes. But now, is there a piece that holds a special place in your heart that you enjoy playing?
Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen, definitely. And one of my favorite places to play in concert, uh, Feel Good Inc. by Gorillaz. Yeah, these two ones are one of my favorites to play.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who are some other composers and musicians that have an influence on you and the way you play piano?
Well, but Queen first of all. So there's so many artists actually. I'm influenced by lots of artists, which has a direct influence in the way I perform. So like Queen, Michael Jackson, Daft Punk, even film composers like Hans Zimmer is my film scoring hero, and John Williams as well. But also more modern, recent artists that I think I should really um, credit into, which really gave me that fire inside of me to go beyond and to experiment with that artists like the piano guys. If you look at them, you'll see how it influenced me. The piano guys, there's Jimmy Callum, Peter Vance. A lot of people don't know about him, and then more like pop or pop artists as well, like Charlie Puth and Ed Sheeran as well, because Ed Sheeran does like live looping stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So these have really shaped my influences. Yeah.
We are actually drawing towards the end of this episode, but before that, Rahul, what are your goals, your long term goals as a music composer and pianist?
So my goals is to right now would be to perform more. So I'm I'm extremely grateful to be doing my first show in Mauritius. So if I could share that in different countries and explore like different parts of the world where I could share this the most, because I feel like what I'm doing is not very common. So if I could share that the most and inspire more people, that would be my goal. And also trying to it has always been my goal to score music for a film. So it hasn't happened yet, but I hope soon enough. Yeah.
And we wish you all the best for your career,
Thank
Rahul.
you so
And
much.
what's your message to aspiring music artists, pianists who are watching you right now?
Um, I would say learn about social media, for sure. This is your biggest asset and your biggest tool if you want to be. I'm assuming you're talking about the ones that want to emerge as an artist and get discovered. So social media for sure.
That's the place.
Yeah, learn about the social media that's trendy. Well, right now it's Instagram and TikTok. Instagram is a place that helped me break through and get discovered. But yeah, for sure, it was even for me. I was independent for like 5 years, so before I got a manager who's helping me now. But it's been a great learning experience of learning how to, because I didn't know what I was doing at first. I had to learn about it, about how to engage my audience, social media strategy, and all these kind of things. It's gonna be one of your biggest tools to get yourself heard, get your music out there. So definitely don't
Great.
underestimate that. Yeah.
Thank you, Rahul. It has been a delight to have you on the set tonight and learn more about your passion for music and piano.
It was a pleasure. Thank you, Koyal Sita, for having me. It was such a pleasure.
Dear viewers, we have now come to the end of this episode. Thank you for your time. We hope to catch you next week at the same time, same channel. Have a great evening.